Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we've come to Caerhays Castle. We've come to Caerhays Castle today to visit the stunning Magnolia garden. But before we do, we're going on a short guided walk to east and west Portholland.
This is Porthluney beach, which is very close to Caerhays Castle. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach.
Seen the two swans out there? It's quite a cold day in March and we've ventured out towards the Roseland Peninsula. We've come here because it's part of the Poldark'S saga, and my husband, bless him, bought me a new book for Christmas. More Poldark walks. The author of this book she writes in a very romantic style with lots of prose, and it is quite tricky to take some of the instructions out of her lengthy descriptions. They're beautifully written. Heading out of the car park and turning left up the road, we rounded a bend to see Caerhays Castle nestling in the Grade 2 listed parkland. Look behind you.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's like a little fairy tale castle. The narrow road winds steeply uphill. On our left is an old folly being restored. At the top of the hill is a public footpath to East Portholland, 1 mile. So we climbed up some steps through a kissing gate and into the headland. The instructions tell us to follow the coastal path. In the instructions, she suggests that we go up that steep slope. See that little reef up there?
Yeah.
It's a little Coast Guard lookout. What do you reckon? You ready for the climb?
Bit of a stank. There's sheep up there.
We'll get the dogs on the
They're
lead
on the
though.
lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just taking a little break in the lookout. So cute. Is it good for you?
Looking out.
What can you see?
See.
What colour is it?
Blue.
Where are Mummy's boys? Hello. Leaving the hut behind, walk along the top of the field to a wooden 5-bar gate with a faded yellow waymarker sign. Walk through into a small muddy path slightly sheltered from the strong winds. Halfway round, let's have a cup of coffee. What a piece of cake. By the sea. The author of this book tells us that East Portholland was used in the 1970s series. It was mocked up as Roscoff in Brittany. The swans here again, look. Do you think they've come round from the other cove? Fed up with Porthluney Cove, go around Portholland. Day trip for swans.
I think they're stalking you. So we're on our way to explore West Portholland.
Feels like you're the only person in the world.
Apart from me.
And there's our friendly swans. They've even followed us. I reckon they're on a day trip, looking for accommodation to nest.
So we're going to retrace our steps now. We're going to go back onto the road and go back to East Portholland and then back to Caerhays.
Turn right, back along the road signed Coast Path, East Portholland, 1/3 of a mile, passing another row of cottages, more holiday accommodation. Really old.
Postbox VR Victoria.
Wow, she died in 1901. Felt we had to film that. I've never seen a road sign that says Portholland only.
Yeah, well, I only want to go to Portholland.
Not Portholland only.
No, I don't want to go that one. I want to go Portholland. Oh, I'm lost now. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh.
We've noticed, haven't we, all along this walk there's been pheasants that just go whoosh out of the undergrowth and frighten the wits out of you, don't they?
They're pleasant pheasants.
Are they?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. They're strolling along amongst the sheep. See the little pheasants? Oh, they're everywhere. We drove past them on the way down. Retrace your steps until you reach the coastal lookout.
That face at the gate.
Oh, no, it's not Face, Andrew, that's the other end.
No.
It's gone now, there's nothing there.
But I looked at her nose.
Hello? There's a butterflies. Oh, look at you. Oh, dear little thing. We've just come down the hillside a bit so that Mummy doesn't get upset. Poor little thing isn't even on its feet yet. Pass through a 5-bar gate onto the road, turn right and continue back to Porthluney. We've just had a little picnic lunch and we couldn't leave this area without visiting Caerhays Castle, time of year when the magnolias are looking splendid. There's been a manor house here since 1259. During the 1700s it was owned by the Trevanion family, which is the reason we've come here as a Poldark walk today. Winston Graham didn't have a huge leap of imagination to take Caerhays and the Trevanion family as a character and plot in his book. The facade you see here today was rebuilt by the Trevanion family at great cost. In fact, it actually bankrupted them, and the property was then sold on to the Williams family, who currently own it. That turret is so cute. Castellated roof on it. It's just adorable. It was a member of the Williams family that actually began collecting plants, and that's what grew into this fantastic garden today. Lots of Cornish gardens are spring gardens, with the acid soil being perfect for camellias and rhododendrons. This garden has magnolias. It actually has a national collection here, and they show at Chelsea. So magnolia flowers come out before the leaves, which can cause a bit of a problem. How do they pollinate? Well, they've actually developed a pollination where a beetle will climb up inside. The flowers are really robust and hardy. They withstand the frost and the beetles, and so that's how they get pollinated. And these are the really tough sepals that protect them from the frost. So there's the size of the flower, and there's my hand. Huge, aren't they? Hello? Are you two on your own? They've disappeared in here. What's in here? Hello, you two. Where's Mummy's boys? Bat boxes. Boxes for bats. You think they're bat, but I think they're bird boxes.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Well, bats, birds are all the same thing, all fly.
No.
First come, first serve, that's what I say.
Hello, Mr. Pheasant. We've seen lots of your friends today. All the plants have got their little name tags on, but I just know if I did film everything and try to marry it up, I'm bound to get it wrong. What's so lovely is they've thought about the paths, and you're up in the same height as the canopy and you can really appreciate the blooms. Stunning. Everywhere you look, there's just blossom. It's amazing. Those trees are so tall. Wow. Rhododendron just draped in colour. So a lot of the magnolia trees and the rhododendrons and camellias were brought back from expeditions to China, financed by the Williams family, and then cultivated here in the garden. They're brought back as seeds, and they had to germinate them, propagate them. The little sign here says that this magnolia behind me was introduced from the southeast United States in around 1734. It goes all the way in front of the castle, and this one's not open. Bye-bye from Caerhays. Today's walk comes from Walks in the Footsteps of Winston Graham Poldark by Sue Kitto. It's walk number 10, Caerhays Castle. So we parked here at Porthluney Cove, walked through here up to the hut that was there, over to East Portholland, along the concrete path to West Portholland, retraced our steps, and we chose to go up and visit Caerhays Castle. I've really enjoyed our walk today. That book for Christmas was a treat, and I think the walk to Portholland from Porthluney was awesome. I love the sheep.
It's a really easy walk as well, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
too long, but when you get to Portholland as well, the beach is fantastic, isn't it? And
The magnolias here at Caerhays are something to behold, and the paths are brilliant. They take you up into the tree canopy so you can see the blossoms.
you must come to Caerhays in the springtime and look at the fantastic magnolias and rhododendrons.
So what, an 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
And watch out for the
Pheasants, they're so
Pheasants.
frightening. They just fly out of nowhere.